New words just dropped. Actually, they dropped a little while ago, and that's the point. Dictionary.com is adding these words to the dictionary precisely because their usage has become sufficiently widespread. The job of dictionaries is to document the words that people actually use, not dictate to people how they ought to be using words. So dictionaries always lag behind actual usage. Some of the new terms that have been added include girl dinner, range anxiety, worlding, stellar nursery, barbiecore, Bechdel test, turf toe, squish, sound bath, soju, superfog, supervised injection site, and boobney. One thing that interests me about this batch is that a lot of them are compound words rather than individual words. This makes sense because compounding is one of the most common ways that English speakers form new words. Other languages prefer different strategies, like forming a noun from a verb. But I've also noticed that dictionaries in recent years are starting to include more compound terms than they used to, probably in recognition of the fact that this is a valid way that people form new words in English. I'm not gonna lie though, I think some of these new compound terms are a little questionable, and I'm not 100% sure I would include them myself. Not because they're slang or informal. The dictionary's job is to document all words, not just high society ones. The issue is that you generally only want to include compound terms in a dictionary when their meaning is more than just the sum of their parts. A blackboard isn't just a board that is black, it refers to a specific type of teaching chalkboard. You couldn't know that just by looking at the words black and board. So I think range anxiety is a good term to have included because you can't figure out its meaning just based on looking at the words range and anxiety. It could refer to being anxious about open spaces, or being anxious about trying out a new golf course. But what it actually refers to is the apprehension or fear that an electric vehicle's battery will run out of power before reaching one's intended destination or a charging station. So that passes the test. But I'm not sure a term like fire science does. Fire science is clearly the study of fire, and that's what the definition is. Likewise, I would probably only include extreme heat event if that were a technical term in meteorology or climate change, which I think it probably is. Dictionary entries also don't tend to include pragmatic or highly metaphorical uses unless they become very conventionalized. You can use practically any expression metaphorically, but we don't put all those metaphorical uses in a dictionary. So I question whether the term global boiling is a good one to include because it seems like it's just a metaphor. But I'm betting that the highly qualified lexicographers at dictionary.com have already taken all this into account. They probably have corpus data that shows that these terms have taken on these new specific meanings. So what do you think? Are these terms ready for prime time? Should they be included in the dictionary or not? I'm Danny. I post about the science and diversity of language. Give me a follow if you want to learn more.